congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
It must have been a crazy time living up in your house with your dad making the movies that he did. Outside of your dad, what were the movies that inspired you to want to be a filmmaker?
I mean, so many things. I think we grew up kind of watching Spielberg, watching Hitchcock, and then for me, Miyazaki was like, his body of work was a big, big influence for me. So it was those kind of things that I think shaped my interest in storytelling and sort of the knowing like how much film can accomplish so many different emotions and things. So yeah.
The horror genre is such a big, even more of a big deal these days than it usually is. How much of a challenge is it for you as a writer director to be unique now? Because every single facet of human life is kind of now on a horror film in some way. So how did you go about that with this one?
I think I did feel it quite difficult because we're so kind of inundated with horror tropes that we're not scared by the same things anymore. I think there's level of jadedness, but my approach to horror is not necessarily that it's about the scares, but that it's sort of a language through which to speak about human emotion and kind of the difficulties we're having and things we're coping with. So I very much treated it in that way, and I'm really interested in sort of blending horror with other genres and seeing what it can hold. It's a very kind of malleable art form, I think, at this moment.
How much of a good experience was working on something like Servant? Because that almost is a film school unto itself. How was that working on that? Because it is a show that is quite trippy, but also I can imagine logistically it was quite good to kind of delve into.
I mean, I loved the process of sort of learning to fit someone else's kind of tone. It was very, very much something, I think, with the pace of TV, you just move so quickly and you're kind of creating content in this really efficient way, which I loved, that there was kind of no time to stress, and I was just like working a job basically, and training and getting to practice all these cool skill sets and learn how to communicate properly. So it was just, kind of priceless experience for me as a filmmaker.
Is there any other genres outside of the horror that you'd love to tackle once you've kind of found your footing in Hollywood, shall we say?
I don't know that I'll ever be able to deviate completely from horror or thriller. I think that's just sort of in the way that I like to speak. I'm a bit of like a goth, but I am interested in sort of blending it. I think like a romance horror would be really cool, and I love this intersection of fantasy and horror. I think it can go to really cool experimental places.
As a final quick question, is there a film of your dad's that you wish you'd had the original idea for, that you could make if he hadn't have made it before?
Oh my gosh, I mean, I don't know. I think all ideas are kind of specific to those people. I mean, I always find myself just like so impressed with his ability to kind of come up with these striking, like visceral high concepts and execute them. So I'm just like in such deep admiration of him. Yeah.
So I wish you all the best with the film. Thanks so much for your time. Cheers. You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey!